slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and
up or forward. And I don't know anybody in their right mind who wants to go backwards or down. A lot of times, we look into certain situations as far as trucking go, and we weigh the good part of that situation, being that, most people you see that drive a truck, they really have a carefree type of attitude, even though the rest of the world is, going down the toilet bowl. Truck drivers seem to have a really cool, really great and happy outlook on life. I mean, people can't understand it. You can't really knock an average truck driver. You can't knock them, off their happy guy pedestal. And a lot of people look at that. And I say this job and many other careers, they look at the good part of it. A lot of times, that motivates them to get into this industry. And a lot of times they are completely unaware of what they're going up against, With trucking, there's a lot of things I say, not trying to be negative. I'm just giving you the reality of all the, or as to the situation you're about to step into. Sometimes you can run into long delays. You can run into a lot of disrespect. And that being that at the warehouse or on the road, and sometimes by other truckers, it's complete disrespect. Don't come into this industry looking for a pat on the back because you drove 1,200 miles or you drove 2,000 miles all through the night through all kind of weather. That's part of the industry that most truck drivers, we keep that kind of under the wraps because, most people, they do not realize how much it really, really takes to be a driver. I mean, you have to be, I'm not going to say it's, like a invincible type of person, but you got to be almost fearless because you come across a lot of situations that will make the average man and make them run, in the other direction with their tail between their legs. But with a truck driver, we see these obstacles and these things and we just go right through them. There's no stopping because, number one, we got to get that load there. We got to keep that freight moving. If that freight does not get there, a plant can be shut down or they can come up with, a product comes up missing. And most of the time, a company's very existence is depending on if that driver can get through the night and get their freight there in the morning. These people are, they're really doing business by the margins. Meaning the minute whatever product is on their docks, the minute it's depleted, their only hope is that this truck driver will get that product there to replenish their supply and keep them in business. And that's what I mean by, don't go looking for a pat on the back. We're just here. We do our job. We do it proudly. And we do it consistently. If you're in this business to make people happy or to get accolades and awards and, to get hoisted on the shoulders and carried out like you just won the Super Bowl, then the best thing I can tell you is to get out while you're ahead. It is a completely thankless business. But the average driver, that's not what he looks for. As you go along in this career, you're going to find that a lot of times You know, being thanked for your job is, I don't know, sometimes as far as I'm concerned, I see it almost as an insult. The thank you for me is the relief that I see on the customer's face when I show up with their product and get it off their dock. You know, because I know the minute I turn my back and leave out, and they're gonna say, "Hey, these you know, these truckers does this," or every negative thing you can think of in the trucking industry. So, with that said, that was my little mini rant. So I'm gonna get to the meat and potatoes of what I made, or what I came to make this video for. This is these are questions you need to ask yourself before you join this industry, before you drop your hard-earned money on truck school, or before you waste your time at a employer-sponsored trucking company. Look, man, let's sit down for a minute, okay? Let's ask yourself some questions, all right? You know, did you make a hasty decision? Did you, I don't know, were you bored and you said, oh, you know, maybe I should try this, like a Ernest Hemingway type, you know, you want to go out and be adventurous and try this or try that. This is not the business to have that frame of mind. To me, that's a careless mindset, and it will not only get you killed, but you could, you know, very well kill people on the road because you have a careless mindset. And when people with a careless mindset, they tend to not take trucking very seriously, and they do not do pre-trips properly, and they just wreak havoc on the road. So here's some questions you need to ask yourself before you start this career. Are you running from something in your life? I mean, you know, are you running from, the local drug dealer? Are you running from, I don't know, extortion charges? Are you running from something in your life? Are you running from raising kids? Are you running from, or child support? Are you running from your spouse? Are you running from something? If you are, then this is not the career for you. Can you drive for periods, long periods of time? More than 100 miles. You know, can you drive? Can you see yourself driving for 300 miles? Can you see yourself driving for 600 miles? I mean, I know some people, they told me they can't get past 120 miles. That's a big ordeal to them to go 120 miles. But to a truck driver, man, you're just getting started. You're just getting ready to stretch out at 120 miles. So if you can't drive for long periods of time, you need to think about joining. You need to have a second thought about joining this career. Are you disciplined enough to drive on your own without direct supervision? If you can't do a job without somebody directing you, your every move, step by step, telling you exactly what to do, you don't want to be driving a truck. And once you make that right turn out of the gate, you are on your own. The company, they're not going to direct you where to go, where to stop, how fast to go, when to make a right turn, when to exit, when to enter. They don't tell you nothing. They give you the paperwork and expect you to be there on the day it's supposed to deliver. Anything in between that, there's no supervision at all. Does your wife or your significant other, are they at least 50% on board with you being gone for up to a month? You're going to be gone sometimes up to 2 months, and sometimes as little as 3 weeks, maybe sometimes as little as 2 weeks. But you know, I mean, is your loved one, are they on board with you being gone that long? You got to make sure. I mean, at least 50%. That's what I say in my book. If they're not, then yeah, you better think about something else. Do you have at least 1.5 years of work experience? And I don't mean driving a truck. I mean, hey, have you worked at Burger King? You can work at Burger King, McDonald's, Walmart, Target. You got to, before you get started, make sure you have a solid 1.5 to 2 years of work experience or work history. If not, you're going to have a very, very hard time getting a job. Very hard time. Do you have your health under control. Getting on with some of these companies, they do a medical check. And it's not like the good old days where they just check your blood pressure and, have you do a couple of jumping jacks. They do, some of these companies do a full medical. And if you're off by even a little bit, they're not going to, you basically probably won't even get your license, let alone get on with these trucking companies. They don't want nobody passing out from diabetes or from having underlying heart conditions, things like that. So get your health under control before you get started in this industry. Are you highly social and crave social interaction all the time? If you like going out to the club or hanging out at the local spot every weekend or every other day, and you're like the center of attention in your family, and you just always got to be around somebody. You just can't stand being in a room by yourself. This is not the business for you. In this business, you'll be in a solitary state for up to 2 days, 3 days sometimes, before you get to a terminal or to a warehouse. And even then, these people expect you to get in and out of their place of business. They're not one for sitting around having long, drawn-out conversations. And I've seen many a driver, they walk up and waiting for, or they walk up to you and they getting ready to talk, and here, man, you got to rip and run. You're ripping and running. And this guy wants to have a long, drawn-out conversation. This is not going to happen in this industry. So make sure if you're if you're a social butterfly, or I don't know if you want to call a guy a butterfly, but, if you're very social, then you might want to avoid this industry or this career. Maybe you want to do something like management, or trucking management. Are you having child support issues? If you have any kind of issues with child support, you might get your license, you might get on with a trucking company, but the minute you miss that payment, they're going to snatch your license, and you will not be driving a truck again until you get everything straight with child support.